Picture this. You walk into a Swiss grocery store and spot a carton of eggs. The price tag? $7.92 for just a dozen. That's not a typo. That's real, right now in 2026.
Now, rewind a continent. In India, that same $7.92 would buy you not one, but nearly 9 dozen eggs. That's almost 108 eggs for the price of a single Swiss carton.
It's not just Switzerland and India. The world's egg prices form a wild roller coaster, and every stop tells a deeper story about work, wages, and what breakfast really costs. So why are eggs so expensive in some countries and dirt cheap in others? It's not just about chickens. It's a mirror of everything from local wages to supply chain chaos. In Switzerland, eggs set you back $7.92 per dozen, 4 times the global average. That's basically the price of a fast food meal in the US, just for eggs. Cross the border to Norway or Denmark, and you'll still be paying over $5 a dozen. These are the top 3 egg splurges on the planet for 2026. The reason? Sky-high wages, strict animal welfare rules, and, honestly, a lot of pride in happy chickens. But let's drop in on the US, land of the breakfast scramble. In 2026, eggs average $4.35 a dozen. Not cheap, but nowhere near Swiss territory. Except, in early 2025, U.S. egg prices absolutely spiked. Bird flu ripped through flocks. Prices hit $6.23, with some places charging more than $8 for a single carton. That's like paying more for a dozen eggs than for your monthly Netflix, just to make an omelet. But the madness didn't last long. By early 2026, prices crashed back to $2.58 per dozen as new hens hatched and supply rebounded. The egg market? It's a roller coaster. Now flip the globe. Places like India, Iran, Vietnam, and Tunisia are egg bargain paradises. In India, 90 cents a dozen is standard. That's less than a single Swiss egg. Vietnam clocks in at $1.49, Iran at $1.12, Tunisia, $1.62. In all these places, an egg is as cheap as candy, but what it means for daily life is totally different. Here's the twist. Price isn't the whole story. It's about how hard you have to work to actually buy that egg. Because $1 means something very different in Zurich and Chennai. In Switzerland, one egg costs the average worker about 0.66 minutes of labor. You can literally earn an egg in less time than it takes to tie your shoes. In India, even though eggs are cheap, wages are low. It takes about 3 minutes of work to afford a single egg, basically listening to a song on the radio. So, an egg becomes this perfect, universal price tag. You can compare the cost of living instantly anywhere on Earth. Eggs are literally the world's grocery X-ray. And not everyone eats eggs the same way. In Mexico, the average person eats 360 eggs a year. That's almost 1 egg every single day. Americans? Around 280 eggs per year. In India, it's just 85. So even with cheap prices, eggs aren't a daily thing for most families there. But here's where it gets wild. If you lined up all the eggs an average American eats in a year, it would stretch longer than a football field. It's breakfast on a grand scale. Eggs are super price elastic. When prices double, people cut back hard, way faster than they do on bread or rice. That's why any shock, like bird flu, sends ripples through every breakfast table. 2025's bird flu wasn't just a U.S. problem. Over 50 million hens were culled worldwide. That's enough lost chickens to supply eggs for the entire population of Germany for an entire year. And despite all that, eggs barely cross borders. Unlike rice or wheat, eggs are so fragile they're almost always eaten close to the farm. Local shocks equals local chaos. Egg prices swing, but everywhere on Earth, they're the closest thing we've got to a universal currency for groceries. They show, instantly, how easy or tough it is to afford basic food. So next time you crack an egg, remember, that shell hides a whole country's story. What do you notice about the price of eggs where you live? Is it a splurge or an afterthought? Drop your take in the comments below.